daily lives of this generation, as far as I can remember. Material things in our possession, such as important information, images, videos, music, communication, and games, can all be viewed and stored in our gadgets and online with just a few taps. But is virtual possession just the same as material possession? First, the level of attachment. If we think about it, feeling attached to a virtual material may seem absurd, but that is not the case. Mobile Legends is one of the current popular games, as players have the same goal. With this, mobile players buy game items for the characters with real money. Now, how do we associate this with attachment? Well, as a player exerts more time, money, and effort, the harder it is for them to let go. The game gains more value and becomes precious for the player, and the higher the attachment to the game becomes. Next, what virtual possession lacks? Of course, what it lacks is very easy to point out. It lacks the physical body of a material. It is said that you may be using a virtual sword, but you can neither touch it nor use it. I don't have a hard time deleting stuff on my phone, but when I unintentionally lose it, I feel a little dismayed, but I recover from it quickly. It is because of the fact that I am not easily attached to digital things, but I hold great value for material possessions, especially if those are precious to me. Books, images, compact discs, and other material things are the tangible and catch does. But every perception may change once we turn off our phone and take a pause in the digital world.
In games and social media, we name our icons and avatars as a representation of ourselves, or maybe the selves we want us to be, and we re-embody it. Peter Steiner, a cartoonist from New York, stated that on the internet, no one knows you're a dog. It is an idiom which illustrates an understanding about the way privacy and anonymity work on the internet. We chose our identities online to share and explore things we might not be able to express in public. He defines avatars as a virtual representation of ourselves. Our race, gender, class, and disabilities would be disregarded because no one knows who we are behind these avatars. Re-embodiment. Re-embodiment is defined as a person or a thing which re-embodies another. It could be your profile, avatar, or your character. For example, you play NBA 2K20. The game starts with customizing your player. You design the color of his hair, the build of his body, and the shape of his face. You use him to dunk and shoot the ball. Then you got comfortable using him. We are becoming re-embodied and increasingly identified as our avatar. That avatar may be a representation of our ideal selves, possible selves, and aspirational selves. According to Elad Hari, there are three levels of immersion: the attachment to avatars, the Proteus effect, and the multiplicity. The first one is attachment to avatars. When you spend lots of time in a game, there is a high chance of getting attached to your avatar. Bolstroff stated that those who owned an avatar may have memories attached to this character, including their interactions with other avatars and their quests and experiences. Thus, the code who made this character is the game company itself. The second one is the Proteus effect. Differences between our real-world bodies and our virtual reality affects our offline behavior. For example, you are playing GTA for hours. You design your character as a tall and handsome guy. That would boost your confidence and interactional skills in the physical world. It is called the Proteus effect after the ancient Greek god who could take on whatever form he wished. The last one is multiplicity. For example, you created a dummy account on Facebook. Then, you messaged a random person. You told that you're a millionaire and a company owner, which is obviously made up. People gets deceived from this information and sometimes fooled themselves.
And for the third change is we have sharing. So what is sharing? Sharing is the most common thing that people use in their social media accounts like Instagram, Twitter, especially Facebook. It is also the most dangerous part of sharing because whenever someone posted on their social media accounts, people or the audiences might think that they just need some attention, so they might go okay, react, comment or what, just to make sympathy for that person. But you know, we don't need to judge someone based on their experiences that we don't feel the same. You get me? Like, every one of us has its own problems in life, and we're not in the same position on how we overcome that. The next dangerous thing in sharing is that we keep on sharing our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter password to anyone or to any people that we think that we are close about, or we think that okay, I trust this one, I trust those, I trust this kind of people, okay? But my advice to you is that we need to stop sharing our password to any social media accounts. Like for example, sa magjowa, like girlfriend, boyfriend thingy, like, babe, ganito, pahingi naman ng password mo sa ganito. Kasi di ba magjowa naman tayo, you know. I need to monitor whoever is chatting with you or who keeps on texting to you. You know, like, it's like you need some privacy because it's your own account. As a youth, we need to stop sharing our social media passwords or judging someone based on how they share their life suffering or what on their social media account, because we are not in the same position as what I said earlier. I know that some of you are already aware that many people are suffering and different mental health issues because on what they see in their social media accounts, that okay, pag ganito ka, like on the rape issue na pag ganito daw sumuot ang mga babae, ganon, like madali kang ma-rape, you know. We girls feel so degraded because of what we see on social media na okay pala, kasalanan pala. In conclusion, we need to be sensitive about everything. Kasi ayun na nga malay mo sa'yo okay lang to kasi easy lang, pero pag sa iba, big deal na yan. Kasi guys, you know, the thing is, we have different sensitivity. And hindi natin masisisi na, okay, ganito yung pasensya niya about sa ganitong bagay, yung pasensya niya about dito.
So what is co-construction of self? This pertains to the digital involvements of social in nature that help us to construct, join, and extend our sense of self. So there are two types of co-construction of self. The first one is the affirmation seeking. It pertains to the extended self updates that's something to share in a true or confident way, simply because you affirm something. In fact, your friends on Facebook helps you to co-construct and reaffirm their sense of self. Through their posting, tagging, or even their comments. For example, seeking an advice through sending your pictures of clothes or blogging to be exact. Co-construction of self also takes place offline or face-to-face, but according to Russell Beck, this online disinhibition effect make it easier to try out new sense of self online. The second type of co-construction of self is building aggregate extended self. So this pertains to the extended of self to comprise a sense of self. For example, the online communities which we participate can create either a desired or undesired aggregate extended self. As a whole, co-construction of self can be a positive thing, and it can also be perceived as an invasion in a world of privacy.
Distributed memory is a memory system which is extended and distributed across embodied brains and environmental resource, and also in the environmental resources. It is a relevant evocative objects. These are usually human-made that intentionally or unintentionally remembering our personal past. There are three concepts of distributed memory, which are the digital clutter, narrative of the selves, and digital cues to sense of past. In addition of that, Trishana Veronica Nato will give an example of each concept in her video.
The first concept of distributed memory is digital clutter. When you hear the word clutter, what comes into your mind? Usually, it's that messy pile of papers above your table that keeps on growing each day. Digital clutter is way more better than physical clutter. Why? Simply because digital clutter brings less distractions than physical clutter that may distract us from working because of the pile of papers in front of us. In digital clutter, you can save all your files, documents, emails, and links on your phone or desktops, and create a folder for each document for more easy access. Or you can have it saved on your flash drive for a backup in case the documents or files in your desktop got corrupted. Digital cues to sense of past has a significant role on emotional events capturing the most important concern in our life. For example, during the old ages, photographs, cameras, or even camcorders are not yet invented. But as the time goes by, cameras are invented, but the photos are only stored on a film or a brown-colored plastic. But as the technologies upgraded, developing our photos are created, and it can be stored on a photo album or photo frames, and it can be also uploaded on your social media accounts.